Welcome, everyone. Today we're not just going to talk about English. We're going to change the way you actually speak it. We're going to fix something most people were never told. And by the end of this video, I want you to look in the mirror and think, yes, now I can speak. I finally understand how to train my mouth to talk. So stay with me until the end and subscribe because this might become the turning point in your English journey. Let me ask you something simple. How many English videos have you watched? How many grammar rules have you learned? How many hours have you listened quietly? And yet, when it's time to speak, your lips tighten, your tongue hesitates, your voice disappears, and your mind goes blank. Not because you're not smart, and not because your English is bad, but because your mouth is untrained. That's the truth nobody told you. You've been reading, watching, and listening, but you haven't trained the muscles that create speech, and that's why you feel stuck, why your confidence drops the moment you open your mouth. English isn't only in your brain. It's in your lips, your tongue, your jaw, and the way your sound flows. Until you train the physical side, it will always feel like something is missing. But today that ends, because this isn't a boring grammar lesson. It's not another list of phrases, and it's not someone telling you repeat after me with no real change. This is a complete speaking reset. We're going to break fear, wake up your mouth, and build real, spoken fluency from the ground up. And no, you don't need to be perfect, you don't need a native accent, and you don't need expensive courses. You need a simple routine, the right method, and the courage to sound like a beginner so you can become fluent. Here's the uncomfortable truth that will set you free. Your mouth doesn't move like an English speaker's mouth. It's not mainly your grammar, it's not mainly your vocabulary, and it's not your memory. It's your mouth. You trained your brain, but you didn't train your speaking muscles, and that's why your English sounds slow, broken, nervous, or unnatural. English is physical. It has a different rhythm, different mouth shapes, and different sound patterns. It's not only what you say, it's how your mouth produces it. Think of fitness. You can read 100 books about push-ups and understand everything, but if you never do one, your muscles won't be ready. Speaking English works the same way. You may know the words, but your tongue, lips, and jaw aren't trained for English speed, stress, linking, and flow. So when you try to speak, you freeze and say, I understand everything, but I can't speak. Because speaking isn't only mental, it's muscular. In your native language, you repeated sounds thousands of times since childhood, so speaking feels automatic. In English, many sounds and patterns are still new to your mouth, so they feel awkward, and that awkwardness destroys confidence. Now the good news. You can train this, just like you train your body in the gym, and you don't need hours a day. You need a short routine done consistently and done the right way. Here's the method. 5 minutes a day, every day, with focused practice. It's not about practicing longer, it's about practicing smarter. Reading is knowledge, but speaking is movement, and movement requires muscle memory. First, you warm up your mouth like you would warm up your body. You shift out of your native language rhythm and into English mode by activating your lips, tongue, jaw, and breath. You gently buzz your lips, stretch your tongue, loosen your jaw, and stretch your smile. Simple movements that reduce tension and wake up muscles you barely use. Then you use the mirror technique because your mirror becomes your coach. You look into your own eyes, choose one simple sentence like, I am learning to speak confidently, or this is my voice, I own it. And you say it slowly while watching your lips and jaw, feeling the sounds, and building control. You repeat it several times, each time a little smoother and slightly faster. It may feel awkward at first, but after a few days it starts to feel natural, and after more days it starts to feel powerful, because you can't build speaking confidence if you never face yourself. Next comes shadow speaking, where real fluency starts to grow. Shadow speaking means you listen to a short sentence from a native speaker and immediately repeat it out loud, matching the speed, rhythm, tone, and emotion. Not your version, not a slow, careful reading. Your goal is to copy the flow. You choose a short clip, listen, repeat instantly, and do it again and again. This isn't grammar practice. It's training your mouth, ear, and brain to work together in real time. The way babies learn language. They hear, they copy, they repeat, and they grow fluent. After that, you finish with a fluency loop. You pick one sentence and say it in 3 speeds: slow, normal, fast. Slow for clarity, normal for smoothness, fast for linking and confidence. You repeat the loop until your mouth starts believing, this is easy now. And that's the point. You're teaching your mouth to move without panic. Most learners skip this. They chase grammar books, download vocabulary apps, binge watch shows silently, and never train their mouth, so they stay stuck. But now you have a daily English gym you can do alone, anywhere, with just your voice in 5 minutes. And once your mouth becomes fluent, your English follows. Now let's talk about why many learners still don't sound fluent even with good grammar. They speak word by word, like robots, breaking every sentence into pieces. But native speakers don't speak in single words. They speak in clusters, small groups of words that flow like music. They connect sounds, reduce extra syllables, blend transitions, and speak in rhythm. Fluency isn't only vocabulary, it's flow. When you learn to speak in clusters, even if you make small grammar mistakes, you still sound natural and confident because your speech moves smoothly. So from now on, stop thinking, what word should I say? And start thinking, how do I say this in one smooth unit? Choose a few common clusters each day. Repeat them with rhythm like a short song. Put them into real sentences and record yourself daily so you can hear your progress. Recording is non-negotiable because it shows you the truth, your speed, your clarity, your confidence. The first day might sound strange, but in a few days you'll notice change. And in a week you'll feel like a different speaker. And here's another truth. If you only train your mouth but your mind is full of fear, you will still freeze. Because your mouth can't speak freely if your brain is shouting, what if I sound stupid? What if I'm wrong? What if they laugh? So you train your brain and mouth together. You stop practicing like a nervous student and start practicing like an actor. You take a simple sentence and say it with different emotions: excited, angry, nervous, because emotion kills fear. When you act, you stop overthinking and you start owning the message. You also stop translating everything, because translation slows you down and creates panic. Instead, you connect English sentences directly to meaning, images, and feelings so your brain reacts faster. And you add movement. Stand up, use your hands, change posture, because body movement strengthens memory, breath control, and presence. When you train with energy, your voice becomes stronger, your speech becomes clearer, and your confidence rises. Now, let's talk about repetition, because repetition is either the thing that traps you or the thing that frees you. Repeating the wrong way, flat, robotic, mindless, makes you bored and tired with no progress. Smart repetition builds layers. You take one sentence and practice it slowly for clarity, then in natural flow for rhythm, then with emotion to train confidence, then faster under pressure to build reaction speed, and finally you use in real-life context so your brain learns to speak in situations that matter. Repetition isn't say it again, it's say it better, more real, and more automatic each time. And here comes the final truth, the one that decides your future. You don't need more tips. You don't need more videos. You need daily training. There are millions of people who understand English, watch content every day, know grammar, and still can't speak. Not because they can't, but because they consume English instead of practicing it. There are 2 types of learners. The passive learner collects information and stays silent, and the fluent speaker trains a little every day and transforms. Which one will you be? You already know what works. Speak out loud. Use the mirror, shadow real voices, record yourself, repeat with rhythm, practice even when it feels awkward. The only missing piece is consistency. So say this out loud right now, with your full voice. I will not stay silent anymore. I will train my mouth every day. I will speak English no matter what. This voice is mine, because fluency doesn't arrive someday. Fluency starts the moment you stop waiting and start training. And if this video helped you, subscribe, share it with someone who's still silent, and comment, I will train my mouth every day, no matter what.